been away trying to figure out good builds to put on the channel, and I have been on my Nightblade, obviously. One of my hardest hitting characters, and I have probably the hardest hitting Magblade build that I have ever ran. We'll start off with champion points because that's quite simply the hardest part. Green tree doesn't matter. Get what you want. Since it's in Cyrodiil, these two are a must: Gifted Rider and War Mount. Blue tree, really simple. Obviously you want your three main passives for crit, stam, and mag. Then you're going to want this. Fighting Finesse, increase your crit damage. Go in here, you want to get, if you can, you want to get this, half of this, and all of this. Biting Aura, you don't really need it. You can swap it for Deadly Aim, but I don't know. I run an AoE ability or two on the back bar, so it helps. Master at Arms, direct damage, or pretty much all direct damage. Thermitage, we have some damage over time, but not necessary. Red tree is the same for pretty much all the characters. Siphoning spells or Bloody Renewal. Depends on mag or stam. You can use both. Rejuvenation for your recovery. Ironclad for a little extra survivability for armor. And then obviously Boundless Vitality for health. The only one of the main passives that you need all the way up is this one. Tempered Soul. And if you want, you can get this instead of Ironclad. Skills. Actually, let's get the buffs. We are on 4.6k spell damage and 25k spell pen. Did it? We're out. I'm not sure. Hang on. Buff up. Yeah, 28k pen. With 1200 recovery. Recovery doesn't matter too much, but it's nice to have. And even without Balorgs, 17k spell pen. The shinies first. Medusa. This is probably the highest underrated set I've seen in PvP. I have not found another build that runs Medusa as one of their main sets. But it does all crit, and then we're using it for the final piece. Minor Force at all times, increasing crit damage. And it's preferably to have a Medusa Resto staff with regen on the back bar, but I have a Flame staff because this is also my main bomber and ganker. Obviously, Balorgs, without question, best damaging set in the game for PvP. Benkellarians, it does a little glowy ball over my head and launches into the target like so. Really easy to proc. The moment you go to gank, it'll proc. Traits, all divines, though it's preferably to have infused and infused monster set and have all Divine's body. Traits: 2 bloodthirsty, 1 infused. Oh yeah. And for the Munda Stone, you want the lover. You want to go as high penetration as you can. Other sets you can run instead of Calorians is Mechanical Acuity. Though it doesn't really matter too much, but yeah, Mechanical Acuity or Calorians. Oh yeah. And for weapons, you want a mace and a sword, or a mace and an axe. Or 2 axes to increase your crit damage. With 2 axes with sharpened. Skills, it's like every other Magblade ganker. Inner Light, Shadowy. Well, Inner Light's Mage's Guild. Shadowy Disguise is Shadow. Merciless Resolve. When you deal 5 consecutive light or heavies, you get a bow, and it hits hard. In PvP, I've been getting those to hit for over 18k on a crit. Concealed Weapon is our main damage, but we also have it slotted for when we're sneaking. It increases our movement speed. Impale or Execute, obviously, because we're a Magblade, not a Stand Blade. Soul Harvest is our main damage. Get our resources back before I do the full burst. It does a lot of damage over time, and it also increases our damage done to opponents by 20%. And it also does Matrix Defile, which is good for tanks, because you hit this on them and they can't heal at all. Back bar is really simple. Channeled Acceleration from the Psijic. This is a flex slot. You can run Degeneration or Concealed Weapon, or even Proxy to increase your full burst. You need Siphoning Attacks. It's for sustain. This is my main heal, Swallow Soul, and obviously Sap and Soul Tether. A good heal in stun. See how, and it does 13k on the front bar, and it also heals. This is just a big AoE heal. I don't really use these too much, but they're here for an emergency. So with all that, the main reason everyone's here, of course, how much damage does it do on the full burst? Well, $58 and a 1-second burst. And it only goes up because of the bloodthirsty rings. $36 and 4. But the rotation is very simple. I'll slow it down. But obviously you want to be behind them in sneak. So heavy attack. And that's if... Normally, that kills just about everything. A heavy attack, 2 surprise attacks, execute. So back up. And this is the rotation without alt. Heavy attack, surprise attack, bow, execute. Now with alt is alt right away, 2 light attacks, surprise attack, execute. Again, I'll slow it down. Been going a little too fast since Nightblade isn't an advanced class to play. So, heavy attack, surprise attack. Heavy attack, surprise attack, just for memory. Heavy attack, surprise attack. Then, after your heavy attack, surprise attack, light attack, surprise attack. But, heavy attack, just for memory. And then, on your next one, instead of doing a normal light attack, which you can do a partial charged heavy and a surprise attack. Heavy attack, partial charge, so heavy, surprise, partial charge, surprise, light, surprise, bow. Very easy for a gank. Now, for the variant with alt. Bow up, sneaking. Alt, heavy attack, surprise attack, heavy, light, surprise attack, bow, execute. You should only need to ever do that much damage. You should only need to do that much damage while on a tank. For squishies, which is all it is for this build, is heavy attack, surprise attack, light, surprise attack, execute. And obviously another skill that you can run instead of your main execute is Aspect of Terror and run Mass Hysteria, so those pesky block tanks aren't so pesky. Well, and again, we'll just go over the stats. Fully buffed. $28k spell pen, 52% crit, 4.6k spell damage. Then, but yeah, very strong gank build. And if you get someone with the guard to help keep you alive while you're ganking, it's amazing. Anyway, that was my Magblade, melee Magblade gank build. Though I've seen so many today alone while trying to use this build. well, I hope that you all get as much enjoyment out of this build as I have, and will. If there's any further questions, just ask them down in the comments. I'm always free to answer.